That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We have the first official kind of major arenas tournament on display here. Of course, Esports Arena ran one last week because there was an issue with BR, but we got 16 teams invited, and guess what? We get to kick things off with two absolute powerhouse teams, NaVi and Aqualix. Girl, how excited are you?
Really excited. And one thing I want to say is the less pressure you have on you sometimes can work out in your favor. You know, not a lot of people cheering for you. You got nothing to lose. Go for it. Be aggressive and slay out.
Absolute facts. You know, Aqualix, the fan favorite, and of course I had to side with the fans in this one, but I like the fact that we have a little controversy. You're picking NaVi to win 2-1. I'm picking Aqualix to win 2-1. Of course, Aqualix, there are a lot of Gnaske fans out there in the chat that probably voted in favor of Aqualix, but I like your pick as well. You know, Kuya is a very underrated player in my eyes, former member of Cabrabler way back in the day, I believe, in the early ALGS days, an absolute slayer. I'm excited to see what he can do. He's kind of the wild card in my eyes.
Okay. Well, we are going to see here soon, going into the match. The match is about to begin. This is the new map. I really enjoy it. Have you gotten the chance to play this one?
I was out of the country as it came out, so I haven't had a chance to play it myself yet. I'm excited to watch and see it on display for the first time here.
This is not going to be the first map of the day, though, so they will not be playing on this map. This is just a show of the first map, and yes, it is. You were right, Phase Runner, and here it is, NaVi versus Aqualix, game number 1. Excited to see what characters they're going to play. What characters do you think they're going to play?
Yeah, you know, we talked about it a bit in the pre-show. I think from what we saw in Esports Arena, we saw a lot of Pathfinder, Octane, and Gibby. I think that's going to be kind of the core three. Maybe swap in a Wraith here and there. But I hope we see a little change up. You know, something a little different. Maybe some Loba be kind of thrown into the mix. It's awesome that Pathfinder is used a bit more in arenas, and of course, we're used to seeing in BR. So I'm excited to see Pathfinder on display.
And here we go. They take the portal right off the bat. We see the wingmans on both teams. And the shots are coming through. A big thing about the first round is you don't have too many meds. Max-Strafe already took a lot of damage here in the beginning.
Yeah, that's right. Taking a lot of damage early on, needing to heal up and use kind of those only meds. And there's actually not a supply crate that's easily accessible on this side of the map, whereas on the other side of the map, you can kind of sneak your way over and get those additional meds. So no one's grabbed those supply crates just yet. So far, it is Aqualix who has the upper hand in damage. And as I say that, though, Gnaske going to get tagged up quite a bit. And you can already tell the tension here to kick things off in our first arenas matchup between these two teams.
Max-Strafe barely getting the grapple out and surviving through that. Hopefully has a Phoenix kit. Gnaske did get a Phoenix kit, so he'll be healing up to full here. Yuki looking for those angles, and Nesh with the cover. Really great cover. Playing the Gibraltar. Got to catch up to his team, though. His team's in danger.
Yeah, this is called Apex Wingman right now, as everyone is rocking the wingman in round 1, as you typically would expect. But I like what I'm seeing right now out of Aqualix. They're actually going to rotate wide left. They say, you know what, we might be able to go for some additional meds if we can make it over to that additional supply crate, and they're going to do exactly that. So now Aqualix just wants to play the waiting game here. They have the med advantage. They're able to get most of the supply crate as well, so they have more resources. They want to kind of play a macroeconomic game right now and just slow play out the round because they have so many meds in their favor, I believe.
Yeah, you're exactly right on this one. They got the bin from the other side of the map as they rotated early, and they do have zone advantage here and med advantage, but Max-Strafe goes down, didn't have the meds, and his team's going to have to come and catch up and save him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Aqualix playing this perfectly. They're going to get their first knock here on Strafey. Do they decide to push this now? No, they'll just slow play. Here comes the fight. Here comes the swing. He's actually going to get knocked. 2 members of Aqualix go down, and just like that, it's going to be NaVi, I believe, who was able to turn that round around on its head and come out on top? Question mark. I think it was NaVi who won that one. We'll get the confirmation here as soon as we possibly can. But what a crazy finish there, girl.
Wow, it was a 1v1 there at the end, I believe, and Gnaske was the last one remaining on his team. And they're just going to go into the next round. It was NaVi. NaVi won. Wow. Oh, wow. That was a really nice comeback. I'm telling you, their mechanical skills. I was telling you right before the first game here that NaVi had it in them. And they were down on meds. So that was some incredible gameplay in the end there.
It goes like, don't sleep on my boys on the NaVi side, all right? And clearly we slept on them, and clearly they made us pay for that one. What a round right there. And actually this round, we're going to have 2 different strategies. It looks like NaVi is opting to push on the far opposite left side. They're going to take the bin, and they're going to take both the materials, so they're going to have a slight economic advantage here overall. Meanwhile, Gnaske, Yuki, and Del, a.k.a. Aqualix, they're going to play through portal side. And they, of course, will have an equal amount of heals coming from the bin. So they're going to have a few shield batteries, a few Phoenix kits. But the supply crate's going to be dropping on the far side of the map towards NaVi right now. So that's going to be crucial to see who can get their hands on that and level up their weapons here.
From my perspective right now, NaVi has the better side. They have more cover. They have more zone to play right now, depending on how the zone pulls. Wow, Max-Strafe actually went down to 1 HP. Can Gnaske do anything over there? Or will Max-Strafe be able to heal? Hasn't healed quite yet.
There it is.
And yep, he's healing there with the med kit.
Yeah, I think he popped actually the Phoenix kit in that scenario. Gets the full heals and full shield, if I saw correctly. Meanwhile, good job by Aqualix actually taking advantage of that. You always want to take your small wins right there, right? You have him weak, and you know he's forced to heal, so try and take the supply crate coming down from the sky, and I think that's what they were able to do. They were able to at least use that to get positional advantage, to kind of reset the position on the map. Took a small win. Now the question is, who can get this additional loot coming from the crate here momentarily? Nades coming out. As we got Strafey, Nesh, and actually clawz, not Kuya, playing on the NaVi squad. It's going to be the former NaVi member clawz who rounds out this roster.
Yeah, and them taking so much damage in the beginning allowed Aqualix to move over and rotate right next to them. Unfortunately for them, NaVi did a lot of damage, so they're pushing up very slowly, and the headshot comes through, and Gnaske is currently down to a 3v2 here situation.
Yeah, same situation from the last round, though, and NaVi was able to win that one. Let's see what Aqualix can do now as the ball is in their court. Del has to go huge. Yuki can get tagged up quite a bit. It's not looking good right now for Aqualix. Del, last alive as Yuki's forced to heal back up. He's going to get shut down and taken out, and just like that, NaVi going to win 2 rounds in a row here to kick off UMG Champions $10,000 Invitational.
It's a really nice try by Del there with the grapple and the wingman in the end there. But unfortunately, 2-0. They're really got to pull this next round through. What do you think they're going to pull out? Do you think they're going to pull? They can't change characters at this point, so they're only able to change strategies right now.
And as we say, that looks like slight technical issue as one of our spectators may have timed out. We'll, of course, get the official update and keep you guys up to speed. But after a high-octane and crazy first 2 rounds, we had to take a little bit of a second to let our hearts rest a little bit. But so far, girl, what are you seeing? Close games, obviously, but NaVi on top 2-0. Your prediction's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, NaVi were at a disadvantage first round and ended up winning. And then they, I believe, had the advantage second round. They had the zone advantage. They took the right side. Maybe Aqualix was feeling a little nervous after losing what seemed to be a better situation. And then they ended up losing second round. So hopefully they can turn this next one out. I know they have it in them. They'll be okay. Maybe Gibraltar's not the play for them.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good point. Both teams, I think they both ran matched and mirrored team compositions, right? We saw Octane, Gibraltar path for both teams.
Yes. Okay. And I believe maybe they need to play it a little bit more aggressively. They are able to do damage on NaVi, but they were never able to jump on them. Perhaps having another aggressive character, perhaps like a Loba Q or a bracelet to be thrown at NaVi once they have them low, so they can just put their full force in, because they got the aim, but unfortunately they weren't able to close any of the damage out. Max-Strafe was 20 HP there throughout that last game.
Yeah, that's a great point. In my eyes, for that reason, actually, I don't think it's necessarily a reason to sound the alarm or run a kind of drastically different strategy. I think both rounds have been pretty close. I think you're right. NaVi ran the better strat in round 2, playing on zone side, was able to get more loot, was able to get some more materials overall. But first round, honestly, could have and maybe even should have gone in Aqualix's favor. They got the first knock, and NaVi just clutched up. So in my eyes, this is a 1-1 game. Is how I'm looking at it. Keep playing the same way, and obviously map 2 is when you can run your adjustments if you need to, if you continue to get stopped. Right now, you got to give credit where credit's due, and all credit goes in hands and in favor of NaVi.
Yeah, absolutely. And you did bring up a great point. They were winning that first round. They did have that one in the bag. Unfortunately, something happened in the end, whereas maybe the shots didn't quite connect, and they ended up getting 2v3 there. Yeah,
maybe Del not as familiar on Pathfinder. We were like, who's going to run Path for this squad?
Yeah,
and Del decides to actually
it was
grapple.
Yuki once you said that.
Same, yeah. Del decides to grapple up and over NaVi and ended up getting punished as a result. So I think a slight misplay right there, because obviously when you're grappling, you can't shoot. You're kind of rendered useless and taken out of the fight. So for that few seconds of that fight, it was essentially a 2v2. By the time Del landed, he was obviously tagged up quite a bit, and in the end, NaVi was able to clutch that up. But we just got word that the server did crash, so apologies, y'all, for the delay here. We're going to get back into gameplay as soon as we possibly can. They're actually remaking the server as we speak, so we'll see if they decide to change up their team comps. Obviously, NaVi will continue to have that 2-0 advantage, and I think they'll probably have to stay locked into their team comp because technically they wouldn't have been able to change their team comp halfway through the game there. So I think we'll see more of the same here as we reboot back up.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to keep the same comp and perhaps just play it a little bit slower. They did have med advantage quite a lot throughout, I think, both games, because the second game they also got the damage on Strafey in the beginning, so they were up in meds if they bought enough. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see more grenade play. I think arc stars and grenades are really useful in arenas. I don't think I've seen enough of that in arenas today.
And actually, we did just get word the scoreboard is incorrect. The score is actually indeed 1-1. So Aqualix did win the first round. That obviously changes things quite a bit here. And apologies, y'all, for the mistake there. But we are tied 1-1 right now. What a way to start the arenas competition here, and what's going to be an awesome 2 days. And actually, we will have a replay of that round. Let's go ahead and take a look, because it was neck and neck. And honestly, we couldn't even call it. It was hard to see on screen. But 3 versus 2 situation. Girl, walk me through it.
I personally can't see right now, so you walk me through it.
I can't see either. When it comes on screen, we will walk everyone through it. As again, apologies for the display error there. But yeah, it was a 3 versus 2, and it came down to a 1 versus 1, like Girl said, and it was hard to tell in the nick of time who got the win there. But it was indeed Aqualix. So we are tied 1-1 here going into round 3. No reason to panic right now at all if you're an Aqualix fan or if you're a member of the Aqualix squad.
So Gnaske did clutch that 1v1 there.
Of course he did.
He was the last one alive, and I thought he won it, but then when I saw on the scoreboard it was 1 for NaVi, I'm like, oh, really? Okay, they pulled something crazy. But no magic happened round 1. Aqualix did win round 1. Yeah, no need to panic, as Fallout said.
Indeed. So we are tied at 1 apiece here as we'll be loading back into gameplay. Sounds like they are booting the server back up, and we'll be loading in momentarily. And we'll, of course, kick off right where we left off. And, it's interesting. I wonder how that works in arenas, because I'm a big fan. I was really excited when arenas came out because I'm a big fan of round-based shooters. That's the world I came from as a former Gears pro way back in the day. But when we had restarts in Gears, you had to kind of do this whole awkward, you play each round out, let me kill you, then you have to place weapons the same exact way, and so on and so forth. I wonder how that works for arenas and Apex, because based on what you bought is how much money, or based on how many materials you got in round 2, we know NaVi got additional materials. They should have had more money for round 3. So I wonder if they'll play it out that way or how it'll work. But it sounds like they are going to be remaking it to match 1-1.
That's true. And if you do save your crafting materials, you will have more the next round. So I heard when arenas first came out that some people were saving on round 1, kind of like they do in CSGO, but that's not the case here. Yeah. We saw a bunch of wingmans, a flat line, I believe, on Yuki. So not too many people save in Apex. Some people I've seen play RE45 and Mozambique first round. I've seen that strat, and it seems to work. RE45 is a really strong weapon for arenas, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of people sleep on the RE45 quite often. A lot of people also sleep on the Mozambique, which they probably should. But the RE45, in my opinion, can actually be put to work. And unless you're a girl, the Mozambique is a little more of a struggle.
And
I've seen you with that Mozambique, girl.
Oh, I'm not that good with the Mozambique, but we do have the replay of round 1, and here we're going to watch it.
Awesome. I love it. So here's a 3 versus 2 situation. Actually, you saw the heal advantage was in favor of NaVi, as most of the Aqualix was down to no heals. And here comes the flank. Gnaske left in a 1 versus 1, and Gnaske clutches up that 1v1. So there it is. Round 1 actually did go in favor of Aqualix. And here's round 2, where early on, I think it was Gnaske that gets down to the nasty headshot put in by Nesh. And then after that, it was really not a whole lot of opportunity for Aqualix in round number 2, as NaVi was able to clean that up with relative ease. So a very close, kind of a nail-biter 1v1 that was in the first round, and then the second round, pretty much very much a clean sweep in favor of NaVi. We're tied at 1 apiece.
Yeah, absolutely. Gnaske ended up killing clawz. I believe he had a little bit more HP as well in that first round, so that was good. And that's why I was a little bit confused. And now we're all in the clear. We know what happened. It's 1-1. And as you said earlier, these are 2 really good teams. It's going to be a close call, and that's really what we've seen. So I'd like to see more grenades next round. Anything you'd like to see?
Yeah, I like to call on the grenades because I'm not going to lie. When I play arenas, that's the one thing I always forget to buy / use are my nades, and I end up wasting money on them. I got to agree with you. I think a little more nades would be great. I love the long range wingman shots, but I'm excited for round 3 is typically when we see people bring out some different guns, a little more variety. So I'm excited for a bit more variety in round 3 in terms of weapons and what people are going to be playing with. Will it be continued wingmans, or will we see a variety of weapons here? Because so far it's been pretty standard, pretty vanilla.
Yeah, absolutely. And I heard that pros don't like to level up their guns past blue. They prefer to carry grenades, carry more meds, because they're pros. They're going to hit their shots. They don't need that purple barrel stabilizer if they don't, if it's not for free. So it's going to be exciting. Maybe more shotgun action. But this map, typically long range weapons, flatline, wingman, maybe a sniper. Charge rifle time?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to see that. We know if my man Mandy was playing from Scars EU, we'd see a little charge rifle action. That'd be awesome. And then also one big thing I mentioned in that last round to talk about is NaVi's actually not playing with their full roster, unless they made a roster change that I didn't know about. They're not playing with Kuya. They're actually playing with clawz instead, the former member of this NaVi squad who was on the team from April 2019 until January of 2021. clawz is back on this roster playing at least for this tournament. So I'm excited to see what clawz can do, making his return to NaVi at least for now. But we are going to jump to a quick break as we get the lobby reloaded and ready to go. Again, our apologies for the technical delays all with the server crash. We'll be back with some more Apex Legends arenas after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Apex Legends 10K Invitational Tournament. This is the UMG Champions. I'm Fallout, joined alongside Girl as we are about to join back in to game number 1. Again, apologies for the delay, everybody, as we're getting ready to jump back into our 1-1 tied series between NaVi and Aqualix.
And we are about to start. Grenades are going to be flying through the air soon. We're going to see which side of the map it's going to pull towards. A lot of open area in the middle. Charge rifles inbound. I'm curious to see what they're holding. What are they buying? I want to know.
I like it. Girl is just manifesting right now all the things that we just discussed that we want to see, as we got purple shields on deck, and we'll figure out what weapons and what exactly we're going to see here in terms of loadout and where the ring's going to be pulling towards. It looks like they're going a little bit towards the portal side, but as I say that, NaVi opting again for the early push towards the far side. And of course with Octane, they're going to get the early jump and might be able to actually grab that bin early if they want to. But a little bit of a split strategy here for Aqualix. They're actually opting for a long flank.
And they were able to get the first damage out again. So Nesh taking out 50 armor off of him. So he's going to have to heal up shortly. Aqualix, I don't know why they like this side so much. Maybe because there's so many rocks and cars to hide behind. But I personally feel a lot more comfortable where NaVi is standing. But they must have a lot of experience playing these nooks and crannies on the map because they're really comfortable being out in the open.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right about that. Meanwhile, given the fact that the zone pulled towards the opposite side where NaVi actually played for, I think they'd want to play that side instead. And obviously, once you kind of get fortified and set up over towards this side of the map, especially if the zone's pulling that way, it's kind of tough to push. You have a really, really good high ground vantage and view on the rest of the map. So I definitely do agree with you. I think this is the preferred side, but maybe Aqualix just prefers to play elsewhere, and they like to play for longer range poke. They like to play more flanks and a little bit more kind of unexpected in their play style. Speaking of nades, we're going to see our first nade drop there to do a lot of damage.
It barely missed SirDel there. I believe SirDel took like 15 damage, but now the 3v3 is coming in. Aqualix so close to Nesh. Nesh taken down, putting his bubble down, but he's getting pushed so rapidly, and Nesh goes down. Max-Strafe with the Eva 8 going to try and knock out, but Del's 1 HP, and it's a 3v1 here, and they might win round number 3 here.
Yeah, clawz doing everything he can to clutch up. Not going to matter, though. Nice job right there from Aqualix to shut it down. So, despite not playing towards zone right away, they actually get the upper hand. Right now what I'm seeing, girls, Aqualix has had the upper hand and seems to be slightly better at the long-range poke game, and they're doing a really good job capitalizing as soon as they get poke damage in, capitalizing and playing for the hunt, for the kill. I like what I'm seeing right now out of Aqualix.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought they needed on round 2, and that's exactly what they gave us on round 3. They need to push off of the initial damage that they did, and Nesh was caught out of position. The bubble could not save him there.
Indeed. So, now we're going into round number 4. Aqualix up 2-1 here with the opportunity to run away with this game. Meanwhile, NaVi opting for the same strategy, playing up towards the bin side. on the far left side of that. That's where the zone's going to pull as well. And it looks like Aqualix is going to meet them this time. We will have a 3v3 fight over on this side of the map.
And something you have to note is if you buy jump pad one round, you won't be able to buy jump pad the next round. I believe there's like a 1 round kind of delay on your ultimate. You can't have it every round. So maybe that's why Aqualix got to the bins a lot faster than NaVi in this round here. Gnaske trying to heal up. Going back. Gotta play it safe, but Max-Strafe goes down. Gnaske actually went in and pushed through Yuki with the cover fire on the Havoc here. The Eva 8 going through. One of them is flesh, but there's one on the left side as well, so this is going to be tough.
Gnaske with the ultimate confidence, going to get the Arcstar knock right after on Nesh. And it's going to be clawz last alive here. He'll get taken out as well. That was big brains and big plays. Gnaske right there, playing with confidence and taking game number 1. Aqualix does it 3-1. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now out of this squad, girl.
Yeah, they played that perfectly. Their aggression there in the last 2 rounds that they've played, they're just so very confident. And that's Aqualix for you, winning our game number 1. What did they do right?
It's a good start. They hit their shots, honestly, first and foremost. I don't think it was much more outside of they hit more shots and they're able to capitalize on that damage early on. Like I said early, if it was a long-range kind of poke game, they out-damaged and out-sniped, if you will, with the wingman. And then if it was a close-range fight, you saw Gnaske right there in the late game just absolutely connecting. Brilliant stuff coming through from Aqualix, and now we get to see it for ourselves in some replays, girl.
Yeah, absolutely. Replays are going to come through. Gnaske here popping the battery. His teammates looking to cover him there. Yuki went down on the low ground. Doesn't look like Yuki's going to survive there, but the jump is what did it. Gnaske was on the high ground, taking down clawz very easily from there.
That's right. That's Aqualix winning round number 1. Round number 2, NaVi showed some life and actually won this one with relative ease. I think it was Gnaske that went down early, and as a result, NaVi was able to capitalize. But then after that, it was all Aqualix all day. Strafey doing everything he can, strafing in and out of the Gibby bubble with the Eva 8, not able to connect for a knock, and as a result, clawz is left in 3v1. Not much you can do in those 3v1s, and in the end, it was Gnaske drawing first blood and second blood with the Arcstar pick over Nesh in that last round, round number 4, and Aqualix wins it 3-1.
Aqualix has such great synergy together. Their teamwork, it really, really shows here. Gnaske very confident with his teammates to pull the damage in case he goes down. Just formidable today.
Yeah, looking good so far. But there's only one game done. It's a best-of-5 series. We got 4 maps to play. NaVi could easily bounce back in game number 2, which I'm trying to remember which map is. I think it was going to be Artillery was game. No, it's going to be Gardens. Okay, Gardens is game number 2. Just got confirmation from our production team. Thank you to them. So we'll see Gardens in game number 2. Girl, break down Gardens for me. Your thought on the map Gardens.
Gardens is one of the maps that I've played the least, actually, but I believe if you get the high ground on Gardens, that's preferable. Reflections was telling me earlier, you just got to get that highest building, and then you're going to have the advantage over the rest. But taking a look at last game, Aqualix weren't really taking those, god spots per se, and they were still winning it, getting those angles, getting that entry damage, and just jumping onto NaVi. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting game number 2. That is for sure. Aqualix got the upper hand in in game number 1. They go up 1-0. Will they continue to roll, or will NaVi be able to tie it up here in our Olympus map number 2? And of course, we will have the party runner is map number 4. Artillery is map number 3, I believe, as well as we round out our final series. I can't remember what map number 5 was, but nonetheless, it's going to be a great series. And it's been a great series so far. NaVi versus Aqualix. Game number 2 is about to be underway. And I wonder, girl, will we see the same team comps? You think we'll go with that same Octane, Gibby, and Pathfinder team comp for both teams?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they're going to switch it up. NaVi might, because they just lost their first game. And Gibraltar Domes might not be as efficient on this map. But what other character would be better than a Gibraltar? Gibraltar has that shield. He can tank extra damage. Maybe not as mobile as a lot of other legends, but I think he's great, and it is being played here on Aqualix.
Yeah, whether it's BR, whether it's Arenas, Gibraltar, most picked legend in competitive Apex for good reason. This kit is just way too strong. Del's going to take some damage early, and this is that round 1 that you mentioned last time, girl. Well said. Not a whole lot of heals in round 1, so you got to be really cautious and really careful taking early poke, and so far it seems like Aqualix is taking more of the poke.
I know in the arenas that I've played, there's normally a lifeline on every team. But I believe maybe with these pro players, you're never going to get a lifeline res off. Maybe that's what they're thinking, but maybe we'll see a lifeline today, maybe later, maybe next game.
Yeah.
But it is Gibraltar for now.
Yeah, and I think there's two reasons for that. One, pro players are too smart to allow a lifeline res to come through, and two, communication is at an all-time high in these, with pro players in these competitive lobbies. So if a lifeline res does go off, you better believe a team is calling that out. They're capitalizing. They're playing aggressive. So for those two reasons, at pro kind of competitive play, you don't see a lot of lifeline. But I'm with you. I play a lot of lifeline myself in arenas, and every arenas game, it seems like there's a lifeline on some team because you can kind of capitalize on being a solo queue or a duo queue, and the other team not being able to take advantage.
The thing I would like about Lifeline to be played here is because a lot of players are playing Wingman, and you are going to have to reload that gun at some point, so you may not be able to get a thirst as easily playing Wingman right now. And oh my gosh, Max-Strafe getting pushed by SirDel on the Pathfinder. That was really, really nice. He's got a heal. He's taken in so much damage. He's one shot or two shots from being killed here. But the dome comes through. Yuki, SirDel are going to need to heal. Oh, SirDel popped the battery. Will he be able to win this 1v1 versus Nesh? Nesh wins it with the Mozambique there at the end. Perfect play. Wow, that was a great clutch from NaVi there.
You got to be kidding me with that round. What a way to start. And wow, great clutch from NaVi. SirDel, battle of the Pathfinders against his former teammate and Pathfinder Strafe, gets the first knock. You'll see it right here. Strafe versus Del. Del absolutely walks all over him and bops him. Meanwhile, Del has to heal back up, and it's going to be Nesh in the 1v1 with the Mozambique. Bubble strafing and clutches. What a start here in game number one, girl. That was insane.
That was insane indeed. Something that we never really talked about too much are the bubble fights. Bubble fighting are what pros know best because Gibraltar's been played in the Battle Royale aspect of Apex for so long now. And bubble fights is what can make or break a clutch. And it helped NaVi there, and it was perfectly played.
So again, more foreshadowing here. We previewed and kind of teased the Mozambique a little bit ago, and we see a Mozambique finish right there, as you'd expect from these pro players using every single weapon in their utility. Great job from Nesh. I gotta say, kudos to Nesh and clutching that one out against SirDel, who actually was able to heal back up to full heals with the shield battery. You thought that he was going to be able to clutch that 1v1, but instead Nesh shut it down. That was a 2v3, by the way, because Strafe went down early, so NaVi able to clutch the 2v3 this time for real, not the miscall in round number one.
Yeah, it's not what happened in our game one, but it did happen in game two. Another foreshadowing, if we might say.
Yeah, indeed. And we did just get word, unfortunately, I'll get apologies again, but the server did crash, so we're going to have slight delays, and fingers crossed this is like an EU server thing, and the same thing's not happening in the North American side where most of our teams are going to be competing today, and we won't have delays and disruptions in our NA games, but we're going to be hanging tight for now and hoping that we can get back into gameplay here momentarily.
All right, it should be remade shortly. Hopefully they'll be back up. They're going to get their materials. They're going to get that round one finished as soon as possible, and then we're going to get back into the game.
All right, so once gameplay is ready, we're going to jump right back into it. They're remaking the game right now, so it shouldn't be too long of a break. We're going to take a very quick and short break. When we come back, round number 2 of game 2 right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the UMG Champions Apex Legends 10K Invitational. This is Arenas, and we are live and back with some gameplay here. Jumping right into the action. It looks like Strafe is going to get tagged up quite a bit. Now all up to Nesh and clawz.
Wow, he actually got jumped on by 2. Yuki actually goes down there, and it's up to Gnaske here and SirDel, and oh my goodness, they slayed that one out. That
was a 30-second round, maybe even less. I love the strat call coming through from Aqualix, deciding to go ultra aggressive with that round, getting the early pick and catching one off guard. They talk about a way to catch your team off guard.
That's something that's happened to me actually in Battle Royale and arenas. If you're shooting at one, you gotta expect 2 people to drop on you, or at least someone to drop on you. And if they do drop on you, you have to reload. So there's nothing you can do besides switch weapons and fight. But if you have taken damage prior to that, then you're not looking like you're in a good situation. But luckily for NaVi, they had their teammates close up to trade with them.
That's right. Here we go. Now they're looking to go just as aggressive here. Nade's going to come through. And NaVi looking to go up 3-0 and take the quick win in this game. We'll see if they can do exactly like good wingman shots being put in. Gnaske, literally, you could breathe on him and he would get knocked right now. SirDel last alive for this squad. NaVi 1v1 and Del is actually, no, NaVi's going to clutch it up just like that. The quick 3-0 from NaVi. What a game, girl.
And the emotes, the Pathfinder emotes, they're coming through at the end. I love to see it. Honestly, clawz coming in onto this roster here has been doing work. clawz, I don't know if clawz is back to Apex Legends or not, but clawz is looking like they're having a lot of fun in arenas right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. It is fun to watch clawz pop off way back in the day. And clawz, in my opinion, was one of the top NaVi players on that original NaVi roster before they completely shook things up, picking up Strafe and then picking up Kuya and Nesh. I like what I'm seeing out of clawz. Hopefully it is a little bit of a return, and maybe clawz is just like, you know what? I mess with arenas. I'm going to play some arenas, and who knows what the future of competitive Apex is. Is it going to be you have an arenas pro team, you have a BR pro team, and some players that can kind of intermingle between both? Nonetheless, clawz looking great so far for NaVi as we are tied at 1 apiece.
And we kind of predicted it. We at least predicted each team would win a certain game here, and here comes the replay. Max-Strafe going down early. Yuki, Gnaske, Nesh going in for the clutch right here with the Mozambique to finish that one out.
Here you go, round 2, and this is Strafe going down early. NaVi left in a 2v1. Nesh and clawz having to clutch up here against Aqualix, but Aqualix is tagged up. So as a result, NaVi's able to capitalize to get knocked, and there you go. They're able to clean this last one up. clawz and Nesh clutching up in that run.
clawz hit the most perfect wingman shots throughout this whole game. Wow, those were incredible right there. Gnaske wasn't able to move anywhere, and it was all up to SirDel there at the end. But the bubble fighting with the wingmans are just too good. We're going to artillery next. How exciting is that?
Artillery, Party Crasher, and Thermal Station. We'll wrap it up. Artillery, in my opinion, one of the maps I'm not personally crazy about. Just so many high ground vantage points. It tends to kind of stalemate a little bit, at least in my arenas games. But what I've seen from these pro players so far in competitive top tier arenas, no such thing as stalemates. These teams are ready to take their fights and play aggressive. I love what we've seen in terms of variety and diversity of strategies. So I'm excited to see what they whip out here in Artillery, but it tends to be a little bit of a slower map.
I like the low ground of artillery. I feel like it has a fair advantage to both sides. Low ground, you have the little tunnels to go through, but the high ground, it's really hard to play. I feel like you have to get to the high ground very fast. If you take the zip line, you might get shot from across the map, so that's something to watch out for. I haven't seen arenas played with Octane jump pads going to the high ground, so that's going to be really interesting to catch next game. And Pathfinder, Valk maybe might be really good for artillery. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if these teams shake it up and change their legends and composition. But yeah, you're spot on. I do love the low ground fight on artillery. I'm not a big fan of the high ground fight. So if we see a lot of low ground action between these two teams, I think it'll be a high octane game. Pun certainly not intended there, as we certainly will see a good amount of octane again. Every single team has been playing octane. They've been playing Gibraltar, and they've been playing Pathfinder, and I think there'll be more of the same here in artillery.
Yeah, and there you see the bunkers on the left side there on the map. That's where I like to play. You can go on the high ground, and these are the zip lines I was talking about. They're really dangerous. You can get shot from across the map there, so it might be best to grapple up or take it really fast with someone cover firing for you. It's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, I believe we're going to see wingmans again. What do you think?
Yeah, more of the same with wingmans. I completely agree. These players are too good with the wingman. That's what's so interesting, is how different top tier Apex is from lower tier Apex, because you typically see like Spitfires and Flatlines in round 1. Obviously some changes came in recently to help prevent that, but pro tier play, you see all wingman all day because these guys all can hit their shots.
Yeah, wingman is one of those guns where if you're really good at it, you should play it because it does a lot of damage. Gnaske managing to get the crafting materials and the bin with the heals. NaVi hasn't quite gotten the heals just yet. They don't even care to grab the heals because they have it under control. We have this area under control, and they have the zone, and the zone will pull towards them most likely. So here we are with Aqualix still in their spawn. Gnaske taking in a lot of damage and trying to share those meds with Yuki. Because it's first round, you're not able to buy so many meds. Yuki probably has 2 shield cells, and that's about it. So sharing those meds early is going to be good. And oh my goodness, NaVi actually got the care package along with the meds. So they're in a very advantageous position right now.
Yeah, that's right. Care package coming through. puts up in a good spot. And I'm wondering, these straps coming through from Aqualix, a little bit questionable. We'll dissect that after this. Great damage put in right there, though, from Strafe. And as a result, Aqualix may actually make me eat my words. They're going to tag up NaVi quite a bit. Yuki having to heal back up with just shield cells because I think they used all their heals already. So we'll see if NaVi decides to push this with Yuki down to 5 HP. No, I think they're all going to heal back up and reset, which is probably the wise decision for NaVi because they do have the weapons advantage because they got that care package.
Yeah, they do have the weapons advantage. I don't think Aqualix were expecting the R9 spray right there, and it came in a little bit clutch here. For all full HP, the fight is going to ensue very shortly. Yuki trying to get some angles with the wingman. Might get shot there from the high ground. NaVi, they're all bunched up together, so they might get shot up. Aqualix taking the high ground and pushing right now.
Wise decision from Aqualix here. They're going to down one. It's going to be Max-Strafe. He goes down now up to Nesh and clawz, the duo who's clutched up so many rounds before. Can they do it again? Nesh knocks one. Going to get tagged up, and no, he's going to get shut down all up to clawz on Octane here. Left in, I believe, a 1v2, or is it a 1v1? I see Yuki above him, and it is a 1v1. Yuki only has about 10 HP. It all comes down to a 1 versus 1 fight. Yuki versus clawz.
Yuki has 1 HP, but Yuki also has that extra 50 HP with that shield. But clawz is way more suited to win this one. Oh, gets cracked. Actually, he could mess this one up, but no, it's clawz. Come on, NaVi's not going to mess this one up, and they win the first round of this series in game number 3.
Girl, that is the 3rd time that clawz and Nesh have clutched a 2v3 after Max-Strafe goes down, which I know is obviously more impressive in BR because you have other teams and you have all sorts of you have craziness ensuing, but also also impressive in arenas, in my opinion. Strafey's doing a lot of damage before he gets knocked, so certainly no slouch by any means, but the fact that they're able to win these numbers advantage continuously is damn impressive.
Honestly, what came down to it was the meds here. In the meds situation in round number 1, you cannot take damage just quite easily. And here we go. clawz with the 1v1 at the end. It gets cracked, but still confident. The hip fire wingman there at the end just took down Yuki, and boom. There he goes to win.
Too nasty with it. So when Aqualix was looking good and looked like they could have won a couple of those rounds in Garden, it's been all NaVi all day. That's 4 straight rounds for NaVi right now, and they're not showing any sign of slowing down. And look at the strat coming through from Aqualix. They opted for a very slow start to the last game, playing for the supply crates, playing for heals, and playing far, but they gave up the care package as a result. So look at Aqualix now, getting there a lot quicker, making sure that they don't lose the care package battle, and they're going to try and play a little more aggressive here, I think.
Yeah, losing the care package battle on round number 1 is really important because you don't have those meds. So if the other team has better guns than you, then you really don't have much. Exactly. But it's round number 2. You're able to buy a little bit more. You're able to buy meds, so this round might last a little longer. But Yuki's going to get met in the corner. Max-Strafe taking down Yuki so very fast. The bubble's going to come through from Nesh, and the wingman shot takes down another.
Brilliant plays from NaVi right there. I love the aggression and the shot call from Strafey saying, hey, look, we can catch Yuki off guard. Everyone's swing wide left. And Aqualix had no idea it was coming. Took the 2v1, knocked Yuki, and then from there, with the bubble for some defense to make sure that the counter doesn't come through from Aqualix, NaVi's able to win this round. It is all NaVi all day right now. They're heating up, and they're looking so good.
They are indeed taking that corner, man. And wow, those are some pretty banners. Here comes the bubble and the wingman shots. They're just absolutely hitting, doing so much damage. He comes back through, gets the Pathfinder that's trying to flank, and gets damage on all 3. Very impressive play by Nesh today.
Yep. Here comes the Octane pad. So ultimate's coming to effect here, and NaVi opting for high ground instead. I think the zone is closing out towards the side of the map. Yes, it is. So both teams will be playing up towards the high ground this time around. And it looks like Strafey's going to immediately drop down and play for one of the supply crates on low ground, also collecting some materials in case it goes to an additional 4th round. But NaVi's looking to close this one out right here. Meanwhile, Aqualix, cheeky strategy here. Are you kidding me? All 3 of them with arc stars out, chilling, ready to catch someone off guard.
They're waiting to try and get a stick here, and all arc stars are going to go through. That's going to give them some time to take the jump pad, and they're going to go through and get the Eva A shots in the bubble. This Gibraltar has nothing left but 30 HP and goes down to a punch. Nesh caught out a position there, and wow, what an impressive round for them.
Oh my God. That was insane. Only Aqualix and Gnaske would think of that type of strat. I love the play. They stay hidden. They don't reveal themselves. Then they launch 3 arc stars and immediately fly across map with an Octane jump pad. Take a look here at the replay. Catch that Gibraltar off guard. Great 8 shots coming through from SirDel. And then, of course, the melee to close it out. What a round right there. And you blinked, you would have missed it as the round ended so quick.
You remember when I was telling you earlier that someone's going to take a jump pad and scare someone? Well, this is what I was talking about. Sometimes you don't expect it. It happens so fast. The jump pad just creates such an opening for these teams, and I don't think NaVi will fall for that anymore. They're going to stay closer together, and ooh, what a good shot on clawz. clawz is actually very low here. Max-Strafe trying to do some damage. Can't miss an EVA shot. Actually trades with SirDel here. It's going to be a 2v2.
2v2 for the bread for NaVi in this map, at least. And Aqualix trying to stay alive here. Gnaske's actually going to get back up. The revive's going to come through. The quick revive from Gibraltar, obviously in the dome, is going to help. Gnaske pops the quick shield bat, and just like that, 2v2 turns into a 3v2, but it's Nesh and clawz. You can never count them out, girl.
No, you can't. clawz is trying to do his best, but getting tagged out quite a lot. Oh, the climb up from SirDel with the wingman takes him down. It's a Nesh. Can Nesh clutch this one up? Only 50 HP, trying to kill 2 players, and he's taking all the angles that he can.
And now it's a 1v1. Nesh with the 1v3 opportunity against Yuki. He's going to connect for a shot, but not going to be enough. That's actually going to be on the knockdown shield, and Nesh gets shut down. Almost clutches the 1v3. Nesh, you are an animal, but nice job from Aqualix. We are tied at 2 apiece here, girl.
That was really close. That was really close. Unfortunately, Yuki ended up getting 1 shot on him, and then that was it. He peeks. He's dead. Great play by Yuki. Yuki, he took 90 damage for free, but he never gave up there, and he ended up winning that one out on Nesh. Good thing. The confidence is what really does it. He knew he was low. He knew Nesh was flesh. He just had to go up and do it and finish it off.
Nesh was flesh. I like that, girl. I'm going to steal that. I don't know if that was calculated or not, but nice job right there from Yuki to close that one out. But honestly, a brilliant job from Nesh in that 1v3. Pure 1v3, by the way. He's able to knock 2, and then unfortunately just can't clutch up with low HP in that last 1v1. Now, back to our round number 5. And same type of circle and play that we're going to see here, except not going for the cheeky strategy. Nice long-range headshot with the longbow. It's going to be Strafey forced to heal back up the shield bat.
I knew we would see some sniper action at some point, and there it is with the headshot. clawz. Really nice angles. These peaks with the wingman on the stairs are very nice. Gnaske actually so low, just 60 HP here. He's going to pop a battery, heal back up. Is it going to be a med game? Nesh is across the map. Does he want the other team to know he's across the map? Because his teammates could get pushed or he could get pushed. But Yuki is far back. Yuki won't be pushing someone quite easily. Maybe neither team has a jump pad right now. So they'll be playing this one a lot slower with a lot of long range.
Yep, I like the way that they're playing based on their weapon loadout, right? You have Yuki with the longbow. You have Del with the G7 Scout, and I think Gnaske's running it in Wingman still. So because of that, they're actually opting for long-range poke, trying to win the overall resource management game of heals. Strafey going to get caught in no man's land, needs these heals desperately. He's going to get knocked, though. So the heals don't mean anything, as they're currently in the inventory of a knocked player. And this is an opportunity for Gnaske to pick it up, and it's just actually going to be a Havoc in the hands of Gnaske. He grabs the Havoc. Quick grenade going to be thrown, and Aqualix looking to win their 3rd straight round here, girl.
They cannot lose this one. They really need this win, and Strafey going down there was not it. Nesh trying to clutch this one out. The EVA comes through, but 1 HP. Gnaske survives with 1 HP. It's all up to clawz, and I don't think clawz can put any action on this fast enough. clawz is just going to heal up. This is going to be a 1v3 straight up. It's not looking very good for clawz right now.
Exactly, and all of the Aqualix seem able to heal back up to full as well. Yeah. So not looking great for clawz. Missing a couple of early wingman shots. Looking even more bleak, down to no shields, and popping a shield cell, not what you want right now. Shield battery instead. clawz with the high ground, playing it slow, and of course the ring's going to force him in slowly but surely, but he'll barely survive. Hang on the ledge right now, literally.
1 battery left to his name. He's not going to use it, but he's going to get grenaded. They're missing a couple of the grenades. This one might actually hit him, but the battery's going to pop up after, and another grenade. There's nowhere he can go. He's stuck in the corner with 4 shield cells to his name. He's going to have to fall eventually, and he's going to die eventually. I'm going to predict that one. I've got all my money on that.
Yeah, very crazy, bold prediction from you, girl. Like, I don't know how or why you're calling this one. as clawz is going to get taken out here momentarily. And just like that, Aqualix wins 3 straight rounds after it was looking so bleak from them. They pull out the crazy strat to catch NaVi off guard, and since then they've been steamrolling.
So one thing I noticed from NaVi is that they don't take the meds as fast as Aqualix. They don't take the bin. They know where everyone is. They're more focused on their shot and seeing where Aqualix are, and they take the bin a little bit too late, like last round we saw. So hopefully they can learn from that. They need this win here because if Aqualix wins 2 in a row, they win this round.
Yeah, this is game point right now. NaVi has to bounce back and has to clutch up here. We are tied at 1 apiece. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Fallout here alongside Girl, and it has been a riveting start to this tournament. Of course, had some technical issues early on, but when we've seen gameplay, let me tell you, the gameplay has certainly entertained. Great shots, 2 headshots picked up for Dell, 71 damage each, and they're going to fly for the kill here. They're stepping on the throats of their opponents right now. Here we go. Gnaske down to very low HP, needs to be careful. Here comes the push from Dell, connecting and knocks 1. Strafe is going to go down, his former teammate.
That was a perfect jump pad by them. NaVi absolutely destroyed within 10 seconds. Those double headshots just did it for them. Those were beautiful. Then they had to call for the jump pad and it was over.
SirDel, one of the most underrated players in competitive Apex, in my opinion, absolutely cracked out of his mind as a slayer. And you see it right there. Connects for 2 headshots to the wingman. That's 140 damage in seconds. And then immediately drops the Octane jump pad, and the team flies for the hunt, for the kill, to step on the throats of their opponents. And they win that one 4 straight rounds. So after NaVi wins 4 straight rounds from Garden, actually make it 5 straight rounds from Garden all the way to Artillery, it's going to be 4 straight rounds, 1 from Aqualix to shut that one out. What a crazy game that was, Girl.
This is really tough. You never know what's going to happen. You did predict it really well. We're going to go into replays right now. And those headshots, they were incredible. Nesh here with the devotion. The tracking is insane. Oh my goodness. Was he able to knock him here? And yes, he is.
Insane. And that's why you play for care packages, by the way. You get a devotion in the hands of these guys. You see what they can do with it. Gnaske, of course, with the Havoc a couple rounds after. Disgusting gameplay from both of these teams, and it's been great. It's been so much fun to watch, Girl. We've seen 2v3 clutches multiple times. We've seen complete swing in terms of events with a 4 straight round win from Aqualix. We've seen a little bit of everything so far. It's been a lot of fun to watch. I'm enjoying my first time casting arenas, and I'm definitely enjoying it. It's
definitely a fun tournament to watch, and Party Crasher is next here today. Party Crasher, you said this was your least favorite or most favorite?
Least favorite. Your most favorite. My least favorite.
Your least favorite. Why don't you like Party Crasher?
You know, at least the way it plays out in my tier of Apex Legends in arenas, a lot of people kind of hiding on top of their respective houses and buildings, a lot of posting up, and then a lot of kind of long range, awkward fights. And you kind of get caught in no man's land often. It's not like Phase Runner where there's a lot of rocks, there's a lot of cover, a lot of flank opportunities. You get stuck in these kind of awkward positions, and I don't know, for some reason I'm just not a fan personally. But a lot of people like it, so.
I think this is a great map to play Gibraltar on. I think when I played arenas, I played a tournament in arenas as well, but not in custom lobby, but arena, you put your Gibraltar bubble onto the high ground on the other team and you just walk up there, you jump up there. But today we've been seeing a lot of jump pads, so it's going to get really spicy, I think, in Party Crasher.
Yeah, that's actually probably the most entertaining part today is Octane jump pad plays that have been made. We saw obviously the cheeky strat that came out from Aqualix when they needed to pull something, a trick out of the bag, and that was enough momentum for them to continue to run with it. So I think we'll continue to see more of that here in a bit as we take a look at the map fly through of Party Crasher, the Mirage Special, as we will have a interesting game number 4. Can Aqualix close it out here with a 3-1 win, or will NaVi force a game 5? That is the question. It has been so entertaining, so much fun to watch so far, and I'm excited to jump into it.
I think NaVi is going to like this map based on the fact that they don't like going for the meds, and the meds on the high ground are really hard to grab. You get angles on there, and you can dive to get those meds. So I think they might like this map a lot more. I think they're going to be a little bit more successful on this map. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I picked Aqualix to win the tournament or to win the match. I'm sticking with my guns here. I got to stay loyal. I got Aqualix closing this one out. And as we say that, looks like there was a slight server crash, but is it all up server or is it just a spectator? Okay, so it's a single observer that crashed, which guess what? That means I think we're still live. Don't worry, my friends. So far, so good. Round number 1 of game number 4 to see if Aqualix can close this out or if NaVi can force game 5.
The iron sight wingmans are going off. And like I said, it's really hard to get those meds, but they ended up getting them. Was that SirDel? He just snuck over there and grabbed those meds?
Yeah, it's big. That gives Aqualix the early advantage here. And now they just want to play for poke. Play for the long game and slowly kind of bleed out the meds and the resources of their opponents.
Oh, I know. That's not good. Getting the meds for free.
Yeah.
That is not something you want on your first round of this map. So hopefully NaVi can look for those meds in the next round. Nesh taking in some damage. He's going to have to heal up. Shield cells most likely all that he's got. Not enough to get to full, but still has the angles. Try and get as much damage as you can so you can push. That's all there is to it.
Yep. And this is where I like, especially in this map, I like channeling. As I mentioned, you get kind of caught in no man's land, but I like channeling my inner Shiv and playing Bangalore on this map because you give yourself smoke, you give yourself some additional cover, an additional screen to be able to make those plays to grab those supply crates or bins on the far side. Obviously, we won't see Bangalore in play here, but that's a personal preference of mine. Meanwhile, NaVi, this is what we said, that Aqualix just wants to kind of drain out their resources, and it looks like they're down to no shield cells outside of clawz.
Yep, and there's the bubble coming through to try and get a little bit closer. They actually got Gnaske, and this is not looking good. Yuki's down to 1 HP. The bubble's going to go through, but I think they actually got him while he's throwing the bubble. Nesh doing absolute work, though. Headshot right there. Close range. Wow, that was wonderful.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God. Was that Yuki? I think it was Yuki with the 1v2 clutch. Again, we see a 1 versus 2. This is why we love Apex, by the way. And I'm a huge fan of arenas because it brings out that opportunity in Apex to clutch up for your team. We have seen multiple 2v3s, 1v2s, even almost a 1v3. And I think it was Yuki right there that did it for Aqualix. What a round.
Wow, I didn't even catch that. I thought Yuki got headshotted there at the end, and all like.
I saw the headshot come through. I'm like, he's done. There's no way he wins this, and somehow he clutches up and wins the round. Wow. That was actually insane. And of course, Aqualix did have the advantage in terms of overall heals to start that one off, so you would have expected them to win the round. But again, NaVi's able to start the initial clutch. Yuki though finishing it off. Look at this.
Okay.
Whoa.
The jump pads coming through.
Yep.
They have the high ground. Gnaske down to 60 HP here.
Yeah, an ultra aggressive round from them. Ava 8's in hand, and all 3 members of Aqualix alive right now. They're going to get their knocks in. This should be a Aqualix round. Bar another clutch here. Yuki and is going to survive and win this one. Again, I love what I'm seeing out of Aqualix, girl. They're playing not to lose or playing to win. They're playing with aggressive strategies. You see the early jump pad, and they take their 3v1 on top of the Mirage Voyage building right there. Brilliant stuff coming through from Aqualix.
I said it, spicy. The jump pads are going to make this one spicy because they spawn so close to each other that they were just able to take their high ground so quickly and destroy them so fast. The bubble fights were crucial. Yuki hit some incredible shots right there, and they went for the punches. Gnaske played it safe on the outer edge of the bubble, ended up killing them, but the aggressiveness that they have as a team, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Aqualix playing next level right now. This time, last time Octane jump pad, this time the quick zip line up to the top of Mirage Voyage, and they're going to try and catch Strafey off guard if they can. Missing a couple shots early. Del's going to actually get tagged up and have to reset, but it is round number 3, so they will have a good amount of heals here. And in this round will be neutralized for now. The question is, did NaVi capitalize on that damage to Del? Did they go and grab a supply crate?
I don't think so. Based on what they've been doing, they normally don't get that supply crate. Max-Strafe might seem to be walking up towards it, but Max-Strafe doesn't want to get punished for it. This is a hard crate to get. And if they noticed that Aqualix were split there, they should have pushed there. Or honestly, that's what they should have done. They should have pushed 3v2. Maybe they didn't catch it. And here comes the close range combat. Nesh trades. They trade. SirDel takes one down. Gnaske going down.
Yeah, 2v2 fight here. Strafey, they're going to get some good shots, but he gets knocked as well. I love the strat call coming through from Aqualix. Now, 2v1, all up to clawz to clutch this up to keep his team alive. It's looking bleak right now. He's down to no shields, but does have the knockdown shield in front of him. And he's going to get some good shots in to start, but misses the wingman shots he needed to connect with. And just like that, Aqualix with the 3-0 bop over NaVi. Brilliant strat calling. That is the most impressive part of Aqualix's gameplay, girl, in my eyes, were the strat calls and the shot calls from their IGL. I love the plays from Aqualix. Absolutely brilliant.
It was well played by NaVi, but unfortunately they weren't able to pull that through. Aqualix, incredible gameplay, and they had such amazing clutches. Like you said, they had a lot of strategies coming in today, and I'm excited to see what other strategies they have in store for us in the future.
Yeah, they pulled out all the stops today, and I've enjoyed watching it, that's for sure. And not on top of that, obviously played very well as individuals, but whether it was the 3-person hide inside a building in triple arc star, then fly octane jump pad push, or the quick octane jump pad push on the far side of the map towards Mirage Voyage, or that last round, a completely different strategy where they say, you know what? It's almost like a game of chess. We're like 3 steps ahead of you. You think we're going to play aggressive again, but this time Gnaske's actually just going to flank wide right or wide left. Sorry, he's going to grab all the loot for free, and we're going to be able to close this round out as a result. Across the board, great stuff from Aqualix, always being 1 step ahead of NaVi, and of course hitting their shot, especially in map number 1 when it mattered the most.
Yeah, sometimes it is a mind game as much as it is mechanical skills and strategies. You know what's going on in the other opponent's mind. You know that they're scared to lose this next round. Why don't we go get some free meds? Or you know they're not confident enough to grab the meds on the high ground side, so you go for the meds on the low ground side while you gatekeep the meds on the high. Like, they just had it prepared. They had it prepared, and they're mechanically great players, and you guessed it. You guessed that they would win, and they did.
You know, my boy, I can never count out my boy Gnaske and the Aqualix squad. They looked great. 3-1 Aqualix starts. Great job from them to clutch it out in our first game of the series. Now the big challenge starts, though, because guess what? They were playing on EU servers. Now they're going to be playing on North American servers for the rest of the broadcast, which, again, that was actually agreed upon as kind of a condition. Gnaske hit me up. He's like, hey, I want to play in this tournament. And we said, yeah, you can play in the tournament, but, you know, majority of teams are North American, so you have to play on NA servers. And as a result, they said, yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. I respect the courage coming out of Aqualix as they win their first match 3-1. It's going to get a lot harder from here. Let's take a look at the map results, though. Overall, it was a 3-1 win on Phase Runner. 3-0. NaVi came out strong on Gardens, looked great, and then started up 2-0 on Artillery, but Aqualix won 4 straight, was able to win that 4-2, and then a 3-0 clean sweep on Party Crasher, game number 4. Aqualix wins 3-1, girl.
It was incredible to see all the differences in the 3-0 on Gardens. Like, they managed to do that. What do you think differentiated Gardens from the rest of the maps? Was it how close the fights were? It didn't leave too much flanking. What do you think? You
stole the words right out of my mouth. I think every single fight and every single round on Gardens was neck and neck, super close range, and just quick. And sometimes it's like a coin flip. You can flip a coin, you know, heads 3 times in a row, and then you can flip a coin tails 3 times in a row. And in that coin flip, it looked like NaVi just got the slight upper hand in those fights. Aqualix wasn't able to slow things down. Aqualix really seemed to get the advantage and to succeed on maps where they could kind of slow things down, out-strat, outplay, outthink their opponents. And on Gardens, that just wasn't the case.
Yeah, and there were often times where Gnaske was left with 1 to 10 HP, got out of there, he did as much damage as he could, and then he could go back and heal. And they were always up on heals, so he was able to recover and go back in with his team and end up winning. So I think maybe the fact that they had more room on the other maps really gave them the advantage, whereas Gardens, maybe they didn't feel like they had as much room. So it was really cool to see the differences there.
Yeah, that's right. So they got their first win over NaVi. They're going to have to beat My Little Phonies, the Cinderella story of the ALGS Championships, in another matchup soon. It's a good start for Aqualix. But we got some more Apex Legends Arenas action coming up here in just a bit. And of course, we got Onset and T-Squared to call the action soon. But we're going to jump to a very quick break. When we come back, more Apex Legends Arenas with UMG champions after this.